So, Bird, the fact that we consume a lot more art and media and are taught to analyze works of art and media, and that social media now and the internet has just inundated us with people reviewing art and media of various kinds, our ability to discern what we like and what we don't like, even if it's just regurgitating what we've heard from other people, is still always more developed than our ability to make something from scratch. Like, I think my cooking is probably the best point I have to access personally, where I was raised by a chef, and my mom was of Latin descent, and a lot of her, traditional recipes came into the fold. So I had a lot of access to cooking information, and a lot of access to what quality cooking was. And while I still enjoy all levels of food, I know where quality lives, but trying to recreate that in my own cooking, there's always still a learning curve no matter how many times I engage it. I never quite get the outcome that I want at the end of what I started with. I think that makes sense. Did that sentence make sense?
Yeah, I think so. For me, I'd say it was actually makeup, and for the opposite reason. I was raised in a household where my mom never did any makeup, and so when I started getting to the age where I wanted to wear it, I didn't know how to do it. And I tried to look up tutorials. Everybody I talked to told me to just go to YouTube, and it didn't work, right? I still couldn't figure it out. Eventually, it started to work. And recently I've been looking back on that, and the reality is it was practice.
Right.
Where, you can come at it from both ends. You can come at it from a background where you know what quality is and you can't achieve it. You can come at it from a background where you don't know what quality looks like, and you have some really cringy photos to look back on from when you were younger.
Yeah. When going into any new skill, whether it's creative or practical, is that you're going to think you suck whether or not you do. Because you can always sense a level of quality that you're not reaching. That gap will get narrower the more you engage with the process. And eventually you'll get to a point where your appreciation for what you make improves. And it becomes like this second threshold that allows you to live between what you're happy with versus what you were hoping for. And that takes practice. It takes repetition. It takes re-engaging with the same skill over and over again. But starting on that process and the frustration that comes with the early phase of anything where you can tell that you suck, and that is unfortunate if you can't get past it.
So is there a way to take that self-criticism, right? How do you turn that into something productive if you can't get rid of it? Because, let's be real, it's pretty inevitable. That you can see where you went wrong, or at the very least that you can see that something went wrong. So
you actually already hit the nail on the head with knowing that failure is inevitable. Part of it is that riding the bike thing where, the balance won't kick in until it does, and you just keep falling until it does. But they actually did a really interesting study. I want to say it was at Harvard. I want to say it was in the late 80s. And I will put the notes to this study somewhere so people can reference it. They had a pottery class that was being taught. So one class was going to be graded on how many pieces they made. The grade they got would scale the more things they completed, had nothing to do with quality. And the other class was going to be graded on one piece that they turned in at the end of the course. So you had one group of classmates who were all striving to create the best one thing they could, and one group of people who were just spitting out as much as they could, whether it was good or not. And by the time the course was ending, the people who had tried to meticulously perfect one attempt turned out far less quality than the people who had spat out so many failures, because the failures will teach you way more than an actual success will. If you succeed, you've learned one thing. You've learned how to get from one end to the other on this one thing. But if you fail over and over and over as quickly as possible, you learn so many things in each of those failures that you inherently get better no matter what. And those people ended up surpassing the other people who were focused on success only. Your skill in anything will increase faster over many failures than a few successes. And I obviously think from more of a illustrative perspective, but like I have friends who are musicians, and I don't exactly know how it translates to music. I don't know how it translates to more like physical creativity.
Say for me, with things that we all kind of develop as we get older, you think about like makeup or fashion sense or how you style your hair. These failures can be very public and they can be very embarrassing. But I definitely know that like you style a weird outfit and you wear it out and you can tell that it's weird and you don't wear that outfit again. And you learn something from it, right? Like you learn like, oh, these tights don't look right under that skirt. This jacket and this shirt are a little bit too close together in color, right? Like things like that, where I wonder if the harder you fail or the more publicly you fail, it exacerbates that. I'll also say for me with textile arts, right? I do a lot of different textile arts, and by nature, these are very slow forms of creation, right? Like I've been learning filet crochet. Crochet can be quite fast. Filet crochet is a lace weight form of crochet, so it is by nature incredibly slow. You have these moments of deciding whether or not to abandon a project and start over, or to just keep going through the failure and not do it again. I have very much found, and I see it a lot with other people that I know who do textile arts, these are very much art forms that force you to accept your failure and keep moving. And I've definitely learned as I've gotten older that the things that I am frustrated by and the failures that I see on my projects are not noticed by anybody other than me. And it's made me a lot more comfortable with failing.
That kind of ties the other end of this together where I was hitting a blank. In that realm, the process of getting from one end to the other end of creating something is a lot slower and more trial and error in the flow of it. And if you do make a mistake in the build of a thing, I like how you pointed out that you get to that point of trying to figure out if you should quit, start over, or just keep powering through and finishing it. You should always try to finish the thing, even if there's something wrong in the middle of it, because like you pointed out, almost nobody ever notices the tiny details that you think are obviously wrong. They stand out to you because you were there when they happened in an isolated thing, so you can see them clearly, where everyone else is looking at the completed thing. And private creativity, you kind of have to just execute and then judge for yourself at the time if what you're doing is right. For performative creativity, it is good to have people that you can go to who can give you good feedback, obviously. But the important thing in all these cases is that you try to fail often, fail quickly, and just keep going regardless of that, because that is where the lessons come from. Successes teach you almost nothing. It's insanely weird how counterintuitive that is, but your taste outruns your skill, and your skill has to get dinged up to get done.
Right.
So fail fast. You'll learn more from that than trying to get one thing right easily. Thank you for watching or listening. If you've enjoyed this or found it helpful, please subscribe. We have more episodes coming every other week, hopefully. Head over to shadedareas.com to find out more about Create Art Repeat. We have interview podcast episodes where we talk to creatives about the nonlinear paths that brought them to where they're happy. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to address, then feel free to kick them over. We have a new painting kit design called the Watercolor Caddy, which is for sale now. And if you end up looking to pick it up, use promo code CAR for 30% off. Listen to us next time. And for now, stay thoughtful, stay playful, and keep creating.